A disaster focuses attention on investments in public infrastructure.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Progressive Insurance. The Name Your Price tool provides a range of coverage options. Progressive.com. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
I'm David Brancaccio in Los Angeles. More now on flood warning systems, with more than 100 people dead and 170 still missing in Texas. Experts say the world can expect more catastrophic flooding at a time of human-made climate change, and there's evidence staff shortages at the National Weather Service may have made it harder to coordinate a response when the Guadalupe River rose more than 30 feet in 5 hours. And although there had been flooding before, there was no on-the-ground alarm system in place. Houston Public Media's Andrew Schneider reports.
During Texas' regular legislative session, which ended in June, lawmakers considered but failed to pass a bill that would have invested at least $500 million to improve emergency communications infrastructure. That would have included outdoor sirens similar to those used to warn people in parts of Texas of approaching tornadoes. Governor Greg Abbott says lawmakers will take the issue up again in a special session of the legislature.
The way to respond to like what happened in Kerrville is going to be a topic for the special session to address.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who leads the Texas Senate, says he's ready to support efforts to improve emergency communications infrastructure. Speaking on Fox News, he calls for flood warning sirens along the Guadalupe River.
So if the city can't afford it, then the state will step up, and we need to have these in place by the next summer, when the next season comes.
This could be an important shift. The Emergency Communications Bill previously passed the Texas House but failed in the Senate, possibly because of the $500 million price tag. That's on top of money lawmakers had already spent on other disaster response equipment. Still, Carrie Stevens, an expert on emergency communications at the University of Texas at Austin, warns against relying heavily on one fix.
Technology is not necessarily the only thing we need to solve the problem.
Stevens says that notifying people in rural areas of oncoming disasters, like flash floods, is often a very costly and labor-intensive process.
There are ways to communicate that reach a lot of people at once. Some emergency management coordinators directly contact major businesses and organizations who take care of others with emergency updates. Those organizations can reach a lot of people, and they're often trusted.
It's worth noting that while Texas and other states are considering upgrades to their emergency communications infrastructure, President Donald Trump said last month that he wants to phase out the Federal Emergency Management Agency and shift its responsibilities to the states. In Houston, I'm Andrew Schneider for Marketplace.
Stock index futures are up in the 1 to 0.2% range now, and the price of the essential metal copper hit an all-time high in the last day, the biggest spike in 36 years, this with the Trump administration raising the tax to 50% on copper imports. If you think all your saved pennies can really help with your college fund, think again. Pennies, turned out, are 97.5% zinc.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Palo Alto Networks. Palo Alto Networks delivers comprehensive cybersecurity protection while automating cyber defense to stop threats so organizations can thrive. Learn more at paloaltonetworks.com.
6 months since the start of one of the massive Southern California wildfires, let's return again to rebuilding with wildfire and climate change in mind. Statistics show newer houses are less likely to burn in wildfires, and among the more resistant options, framing not with wood studs but with steel. Yet, at a time so many are planning to rebuild, steel prices are up with the U.S. tariff now at 50%. All Metal Framing in Orange County, California, plans and fabricates the steel sections to build houses. Michael Furlano is founder, joins us now. Welcome.
Thank you very much. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. One way to take some of the flammable wooden sticks out of rebuilding after a fire is to use what you use, steel. Mr. Furlano, are you seeing interest in using steel?
As soon as the fire started, we started having people reach out to us. And in the very beginning, it was primarily structural engineers and architects. And it was due to the homeowners contacting their development teams and looking for a faster fireproof solution.
But you're seeing plans now come across your desk for rebuilding residences, single-family residences using steel.
Oh, absolutely. All steel framing and all completely panelized.
So there's a prefab play here. But there's also a fire resistance aspect to this, right? Nothing's fireproof, but steel can be more fire resistant.
The studs themselves don't really have a flash point. So the only way that you start to see the fires actually expand is if the exterior of the house is wrapped in something that's flammable, or you end up getting so much heat through the studs that you hit the flash point of the materials on the inside. But the studs themselves, they're completely fire resistant.
Let's talk a little bit about the economics of this. First of all, before the wildfires 6 months ago, was it cost effective to build a house using this steel approach?
Traditionally, steel framing is more expensive than timber framing. On average, in Orange County, it has a tendency to land all in at right around $75 a square foot, where wood traditionally is going to land right around $65 a square foot. The thing that separates us from those numbers is our approach. Because we're manufacturing every stud for where it goes, we don't have waste or droppage. So in traditional framing, you would average anywhere between 10 and 15% material loss just because sticks are coming in a 10-foot section, the ceiling height is 8 feet, so we're cutting 2 feet off of every piece. Where for us, we're starting with this 5,000 foot long coil, and then that's continuously running through the machines, and that's what's giving us every stud. So because of that, we're at a sub 1% loss, which makes it so we're hyper competitive with wood.
It's fascinating, but even now with all this demand from the fires and early last month, the import tax on steel doubled to 50%.
Oh yeah. No, we've definitely been feeling that. We had our last steel order came in December before the fire started, and we were paying right around 62 to 68 cents a pound, depending on what size we were bringing in and what the quantity was. We're right now paying 91 cents a pound. Fortunately for us, the cost of steel is about 30% of the actual total pricing. So we've seen about a 40% increase in a 30% line item. So it hasn't been too bad.
Michael Furlano, founder of All Metal Framing in Orange County, California. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And in Los Angeles, I'm David Brancaccio, Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.